Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi. If there's anybody there, if there's anybody out there right now. Now, as you know, there was a unaliving of amount of people. Now, I do know that there is a group that is in Jacksonville. Um, and they are a hate group, and they cover their faces and they do the salute. They have a whole manifesto on a lot of things. So there seems to be, like I said, a link to these tutors. Why I say there's a link? Because Peyton had the manifesto. This guy he had a manifesto. Went to a grocery store. Hi, so Homer. Went to a grocery store. It just so happens they always go to they hit grocery stores a lot, where there was a lot of people. Now this one was a dollar store, and I can't remember what the other one was. Now, the group that's in Jacksonville. Now, I believe there's many of them in around different parts of the states. There's different, different sets of them in the states, and you know, they pop up every now and again. Hi, Alexander. They pop up every now and again and show their face, or they're not faces, and then I think around this time was Peyton did the same thing. Then there was another person um, that did a school. Now the reasons in why I'm just gonna talk off the top of my head on this one, right? I'm not gonna look at no articles for now because you know me. I'll go look into things. All right. I already looked into the group. Now this group, they have a manifesto on a lot of things. They're quite what's going on there? On a lot of things, and they are a typical, you know, as they say, racist group, and these manifestos. I was trying to find them. I was trying to find the manifestos because I believe that I know they're written in different ways. Peyton's one was written like a planner. It was written like a planner. Now this guy's, I don't know how his was written. All right, and I was trying to see what exactly is what basically, but you know, on these search engines, you only get as much as you can give, and something you got to go outside the search engine. So the people who lost their lives now because the story, I don't know, like you can correct me, and like the states, anyone from the states, you can correct me. He said it was said that he went to a school to apply to get into the college or something, and they rejected him. So he had the weapons in the car and stuff like that. So when he left, he had his vest up, he put on his vest, and he armed up, and he went to the Dollar Tree to go and do what he had to do, right? Which is a stupid reason because he could have applied to another college, okay? So I'm not going to say, oh, they're crisis actors and all this fandaggery. No, because real people lost their lives at the end of the day. You can't pretend to die. I mean, maybe in some cases you can, but in this one, no. So the mayor spoke about it, and he got booed, and you know, they're thinking what I'm thinking. So, you know, if you know what I'm thinking, I might, like, if you know me on the back end, I'll talk to you on the back end because I'm not going to say it on here because, like, maybe others haven't worked it out. So he was supposed to change up a few things in Jacksonville, and he hasn't. And there was problems in Jacksonville pertaining to the history of stuff, history, Black history. There was problems there. There was problems in certain things going on there, and yes, defacing murals, etc. I think if it's the same group, they walked through, covered up, and I think they got moved along if there's the same group. All right. And this guy come from the same group. Peyton come from the same group. So, like I said, if you know me on the back end, I will contact you on the back end and I'll tell you what I was thinking about this one, because I don't want to say it on a public platform because maybe others haven't thought how I thought, right? Now, the cogs, my cogs be, as people say, the cogs be turning, because as soon as I see something, I go look into it, and then I find a whole different something else. Now, there's many of these kind of unaliving of people, of ethnic minorities, you name it. So I am just like, But you know me, I will come back and I'll look into it so I can take a closer examination of certain stuff, because what's it called it? Condolences to the ones who lost their lives. There's no, I can't remember how many people lost their life. I ain't gonna say 3, 4, whatever, because I see it, and then the numbers might go up or something. But anyways, and I know I saw a young man picture flash up with dreads, and there is something deeply wrong with people. Like, people talking on here, oh, we need each other. Da, 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 da. In real life, it doesn't go like that. In real life, it is not like that. It's not like that. People hate. Now, I spoke about this with Jordan Neely, a man asking for, what was he asking for? Food. I think he probably was making a bit of noise. He was being rowdy. He needed to be taken out of that train, and instead they unalived him. Now, this is kind of like a bit deeper than that, because few people got unalived. And I'm sure there's more to the story. Okay, I know there's more to the story. Now, I normally don't cover probably I have, maybe this will be the second one I'll be covering. Now, I have not left Lucy Let's Be, okay? I ain't left that one. That one not gone nowhere. Alright, that one's still on the table. But yeah. Oh yes, and Hawaii. Thank you, Alexander. And Hawaii is another one. Now, I think people said that they wanted me to look at Hawaii as well. Now, I know people speculating stuff as well on that one. Okay, I've seen a few checks on that one, but I'm gonna go look on that one. I'm gonna check my little tarot reader friend and see what she's saying. Well, she's not my friend, personal friend, but you know what I mean. And I'm gonna see what's going on there, and then I'm gonna go check the other stuff. Yes, I've heard it's going really deep. Hi, Rico. I've heard it's going really deep. It's going deep, but it's like an ongoing thing, because those people lost their houses. There's children without parents. Now, I'm not going to talk off the top of my head, because to be honest with you, I haven't looked into. Do you do tarot, Rico? Oh yes. Okay. I DM'd you. Okay. So So I haven't looked, to be honest with you, I haven't looked into the Hawaii one because I've seen another content creator covering it, or I think a couple people covered it, and I wasn't sure, and because like some of us like to leave it for a little while before we go in there. It all depends on the deepness of it as well. I have been keeping an eye on them on IG as well. I heard that Oprah has something to do with it. Yes, it's possible because Alexander one time did say a few things. He's the guy above you, by the way. He did say a few things, and I see that you're into Papa Legba, Mama Bridget too, and that's one of the things I like about Eureka, and the tarot thing that I asked you about. Yes, I heard that myself too, but I want to look into it. I want to look into it. You know, I'm not gonna say look into the companies. I just want to see other stuff because sometimes it could be right in front of your face and you don't see it. It could be a possibility because Oprah's been in a lot of bungarong recently. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in a lot of places. There's the fires in Louisiana. I think there was a fire there. There was something else going on somewhere else. Now there's been two shootings, two unaliving of people. Oh, hi Freeman. There's been two unaliving of people. Hold on, I'm gonna read what you're saying, okay, Alex? I'm coming to you, okay? There's two. The group I feel is in different parts of the states. Yeah, Baron Sunday. Thank you, Baron Sunday. I know. Yeah, I know. There's a difference between the two. Yes, yes. Oh, okay. You're initiated into it. Okay, so I get you're Puerto Rican by your accent and by your thing. So let me just look to see what's going on. Okay. Apparently there's an underground ET base under the island. They friended remote viewing and saw insect beings under the island. Okay. It's a shame if you email me, Alex, we can have a chat on that side because like questions, questions, lots of questions. I heard that Oprah has something to do with it. Yeah, I heard that part too. Nice to see people know spirit. Insect beings. I almost took a shot. Burn. Oprah, Will Smith. A list of celebrities have home on the island and the roof painted blue. I believe the fires are coming from the waters. It's coming from somewhere. You could be right. It's coming from somewhere. Um, so me, I don't like looking on the top of my head because I find when I do that, there's not objective to the conversation. You see what I'm saying? Now I did started out with the shootings in Jacksonville, and there was one with Peyton with the Twitch. That mayor ain't doing a lot in Jacksonville as well. Yes, Oprah is behind the trafficking. I heard a whole heap of stuff, man. Remember, we had this conversation before. Remember, Rico? We had this conversation before. And I think Alex as well says a couple things too. It's laser type direct energy weapon. Yeah, I'm not surprised because even with the AIs are more forward looking. They're trying to do a lot with the AIs. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot with the at first I was telling people they was trying to buy the land of the people. They weren't allowed to grow nothing. The black farmers was having a hard time at one point. There is a lot going on. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna say I used to be looking and searching for a lot of things. I've actually stopped searching because people, when you have certain conversation with people, they think you're crackers. So I stopped having them conversations. The people I would normally have conversations to do with growing and stuff like that is not around me no more. I think there's one or two people around me. So yeah, they have to shoot down the water to the town in Hawaii to open it back with contaminated water. Protect your gun laws. I hear hot waters eastern US not too long ago. Then the glaciers are melting. Yeah, the glaciers are melting. I'll come back to you. Hold on. They are pushing the people out. Protect the gun law, but they're gonna stand their ground. Then you don't find it crazy that they want to go deeper into the water. Hold up, wait a minute. Hopefully my Wi-Fi ain't gonna play around. My video isn't working. Right. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so Hawaii fire's latest deadly flames overtook town without warning as death toll raises to 67. Let me see. I'm gonna get the other one. Teens Power. Hold on. No, my screen's not working. So there's 100 or more missing. Wow, this silly thing. Families of Hawaii's missing endure wrenching wait for answers nearly a week after the fire started. Relatives are receiving little information as search and identification efforts move slowly. Terry Thomas' family has been waiting for days. Miss Thomas, a beloved aunt with a great smile who loved outdoor adventures, was last heard on Tuesday as fires overwhelmed Lahaina, Hawaii, her long-time home. Witness accounts relayed to the family have laid relatives to have led relatives to believe the worst. But nearly a week after the fire started, Mrs. Thomas' relatives remain in suspense without any official news on her status and little sense of when or even if they might hear from the government. It's tragic, this hopelessness feeling. Mrs. Thomas' niece, Tara Thomas, who lives in North Carolina, she said she understood the difficulties in situation, but I feel like there could be better communication, especially when it comes to the people that are now presumed missing. The search for people killed in the wildfire, the country's deadliest in more than a century, and the effort to identify 96 found so far has moved slowly. As of Saturday, officials confirmed the identities of only two victims have barely started searching the disaster zone with Kane teams. Official attributed to the pace of response, which many residents have criticized as too slow, to overwhelming nature of destruction, to Maui's remoteness, which complicated the arrival of the outer state search teams. Oh, they're from America. So they didn't send the ones from in there. It's one of that. It's like what they do to Congo, the US. The heat of the fire and the intensity and the speed of the fire, it literally just stopped everything in its tracks. So Representative Jill, a Democratic who represented the Maui in Congress. It's going to make identification, notification really difficult, she said, adding that it's painful just to think about that. For days now, families have struggled to learn the status of loved ones in West Maui, spotting non-existent phones reception, especially in the immediate aftermath, made it hard for survivors to contact loved ones. Roadblocks prevented people from other parts of the island from looking themselves. For some residents, agonizing waits have ended in relief. Noel Marquez, who lost her house in Lahaina but made it to safety with her husband and 3 children, said it took 3 days for her to learn her parents had also survived that time. She said was very hard and very stressful. Others have heard nothing. So I'm just reading here. I'm reading. Let me see what you're saying. But they're gonna stand their ground. Oh yeah, that's about the guns, isn't it? I expect more things to pop off in September and October. Yeah, I remember you saying. I heard there's more than 600 people died. You know what? Now you said that, I'm not surprised, because what they do, they tend to put the number of which that they had identified, like they do, like the small numbers, and it goes up and up and up and up each time, and I think that's what they do most times. It's like they give an estimate and then like estimated people. That's what I think they do. Okay, their numbers are way high or low agenda. Yeah, I think you're right there, because this one is saying a low number, but it might be higher. Like Alexander said, 600 people or more that was on a live. I saw. Oops, I'm gonna highlight what you said, what you lot saying. I saw they building a wall around the burn area so people cannot go in. My thing is why would you build a high wall around a natural area? That makes no sense. And you're stopping the people from going and looking and checking, in case they find remains or whatever. Then all of the space trips, I believe they're looking for new habitation. I heard that the Virgin guy was trying to get the moon. He was looking at the moon as one of the places to travel, so he could go and so they can inhabit it, so they can be living on the moon, sort of like how they are in the movies. Below water keeping city or look elsewhere. Yep. Foreign police cars there, not local police. Yes, well they just said on the thing that it's out of the area of people that's coming in and searching for the people. Which makes no sense when you think it'd be the people who's there that we looking for the people because they know the people better and they'll be able to identify who is who. Like this lady, see, look, he looks very bad. Or burn or feed the rest bad water. Yes, there's population control. A lot of shitty activities happening there. Biden send them one payment of $700, 24 billion for Ukraine. LOL. I am pretty sure this gonna wake up people. Yeah. All for a smart city. Yes. Then people think that it's one government. I believe they are all in one. They're all the same. I've been saying that for ages. I said that enough times too. Hawaii had a smart city conference in January this year, I believe. I should move to Russia. Stand your ground, Rico. Russia does look good now, lol, but I'm standing my ground in I forgot that place what he said. Aruba. Stand your ground but trust yourself. Russia may have a bad name, but I hear the opposite. It's a lot better in Russia to live, except that it's a little cold. Let me highlight all the chat. Now, I might not stay on for long, right? Because you know what I do normally. I do a live, and then I might come back again. Let's go down and see what you guys are saying. So this is the monstrosity of the place. All right, look at the monstrosity on the screen. Hey, Sukitama. All right. That's Raspberry then. I'm highlighting all the conversation. Hold on. I should put on music and all that, but it might make the thing go funny. I'm going to highlight everything. Let me highlight every single thing you guys said. Smart city. Oh yeah, let me look that part up. don't know, he's not sharing out. Do this one.
So within minutes, our whole neighborhood was covered in smoke, and we were just fighting not to get out of here. So, and then the trees fell, so we had to like make our way around wherever we could.
That's what was weird. That like usually they put on the hurricane sirens or they do something to like warn us. Nothing. Like everyone was just word of mouth evacuating. That's why so many people were just on Front Street, just hanging out. Like they were helpless.
The sun was setting, so it's getting dark. And then all of a sudden, I seen a thick bellow of smoke come behind the property, and the thing just stood up because the wind was just like whipping. I thought like the fire was going towards the ocean, but then it went north, which came around my house area. So I saw it come up behind the house, and then I could see it glow, the flames. Like I thought it was like another sun coming out.
Mm. Okay, no evidence. Maui wildfires distributed set by government. The deadliest US wildfire in over the century, the fires in Malawi have unalived at least 150 people, so it's gone up from the last thread, and destroyed upwards to 2,800 structures across the island since August the 8th. The disaster prompted the Hawaiian government to declare the state of emergency on August the 9th. So USA Today previously reported the combination of weather and climate-related factors that National Weather Service calls red flag conditions on the island. Those factors, which include gust wind fueled by nearby Hurricane Dara, low humidity, lack of rainfall, dry vegetation, can lead to increased risk of fire danger. So no evidence internationally set the land grab contrary to Post, while the exact cause of fires is still being investigated. Department of Defense spokesman Jeffrey Hickman previously told USA Today the claim that the fires was deliberately set is baseless social media narrative. Hawaii government Josh Green's office previously told Associated Press there is no truth to the horrendous assertion that the fire was deliberately set. I suppose Conflat's 15 cities consist old renewable energy plan. Oh, see, it's here. Let's go further. Hold up. Another screen, sorry. Switching screens again. So the smart grid in Hawaii Jump Smart Maui project. The state of Hawaii's goal is to obtain 40% of its electric power generation from renewable energy sources from 2030. Hitachi recently announced that it began operations on the demonstration site for Japan-US Island Grid project, commonly referred to as Jump Smart Malawi, on the island of Malawi. Hawaii is contributing with the new Energy Industrial Technology Development Organization, Mizuho Bank, and Cyber Defense Institute, Inc. An opening ceremony was held on Malawi with the launch. Basically, they was launching it. So they're trying to do some energy company renewal something. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. So I think, let me do it big screen. This is what, I can't remember who said that, who spoke about the renewal thing. Where is it? So it doesn't matter, it's a worldwide thing, except few countries like Russia. Next year, starting now, more and more people are gonna protest, and we have to stand in our power. Be walk on, bend over for the other pandemic. All these fire around the world are man-made. Yes, well, that's what they're saying, that this fire may have been started deliberately, but they're saying it's the people on social media that's saying that how it was deliberate. But it seems like they have other plans for the island, which is what you lot were saying, the smart energy thing, which is what they want to put on the island. So them and the Japanese is working together to do the smart grid, like smart houses. So there'll be a smart grid. So you lot left me with a few things to go look over. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like talking on the top of my head. So what's this? Oh, hi, good mom. They arrested about 60 plus people that started fires in Greece and Europe. Yeah, because they said it was deliberate, so they can start this thing as well. So they might be starting other things in other countries. Energy projects with expandables. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, so that's the basis of what's gone on. So they were saying that how the fire was by design. Was by design. Because they got in people from outside to come and save the people. They didn't get their own to come and deal with the people. So I might be not accurate, but I haven't had time to look at the Hawaii one. But back to the shooting one, if I can go back to that. I can't pronounce this man's name for the life of me. Oops, too wide. Oh, do I expand it? Expand it this way. Now we're gonna go back to the other thing now. Okay. I'm gonna keep this in my head so I can come back to this, because I don't like talking at the top of my head. And I want to make sure when I put out information is very, very, very accurate. 900% accurate. Because people pull you up. So I'm going to come back to this. We are going to go to do with the Jacksonville thing now. So they're holding a vigil at present now. There might not be no sound on these ones. There's normally no sound on these.
Okay, to the councilwoman, I got you. Don't worry about it. We've already been looking to identify funds to be able to help. One, make sure there's adequate security for Edward Waters College. We are not going to allow these institutions to be targeted by people.
Okay, listen, y'all. Let me tell you, we finna put parties aside, cause it ain't about parties today. A bullet don't know a party, so don't get me started. Okay, Jacoby is nice, but Ann is not. Now, if the governor wanted to come here and he bringing gifts to my community, y'all know I'm taking the gifts, because we've been through enough already, and I don't want to go through no more. Now, y'all just be quiet just a minute and let the governor say what he gonna say, and we gonna get this party started. You hear me? Okay,
I just paused later.
let's do it.
TK Waters in Jacksonville about the horrific shooting that took place. This shooting, based on the manifesto that they've discovered from the scumbag that did this, was racially motivated. He was targeting people based on their race. That is totally unacceptable. This guy killed himself rather than face the music and accept responsibility for his actions. And so he took the coward's way out. But we condemn what happened in the strongest possible terms. We've offered support for Sheriff Waters and the city of Jacksonville, and we send our condolences to the victims and their families who were the victims of a very cowardly act.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't blame him. I'd be booing at his ass too. But anyways, yes. So he's calling them scumbags, but this can be a front. Okay, this could be a front, and I'm not going to speculate nothing. And I am going to come back and do researches first before I go in deep into any topic, because I normally do that. I don't just like to pop up, because when you pop up and you're talking off the top of your head, it doesn't work. It's like you don't know. You kind of know, but you don't want to go by hearsay. You need to know what's going on first and foremost. Now, the smart city one, now that rings true. So, Alex, you are true. I think it was Alex or Rico that said it. Now, you're 100% right. So there's been some kind of deal, and they're making a energy something in that area. That's what's going on. Now I have to come back. You know me, I have to come back. I'll drop little short videos. If I've got anything wrong, please correct me, because I haven't looked into the Hawaii situation, because I saw others covering it. And that's why I did the poll. I was meant to cover it, but I got distracted. So sometimes you guys got to remind me when I go off on a limb, like, because that happens, you know. My mind be all over the place. So if not, if that be the case, then you can email me to remind me, right? I do have an email, right? You can email and I would answer you back. If I don't answer you back, Wi-Fi problem, something, you know, life. So if I have missed anything, please put in the chat now. If I missed anything, put in the chat, okay? Because if I get it wrong, right, I don't want to get the information wrong, because it's vital that the information is 100% accurate. Now, as you see, I went and I looked, and I went elsewhere and I look, and as you see, what came up. Now, the lady, they are still, now, my understanding of this with the Malawi thing, okay, even though my reading's not that great, is that they are still looking for people. There's still people missing, right? There's still people missing, children separated from families, all sorts of things, right? People that's unalived in Malawi, that's my understanding. And they are looking, and it might be, and now Joe Biden's over there, which I found pretty weird, because when I saw thumbnails, I was like, wow, he's over there. Like, what is he doing over there? Well, you know, when people like him go over to certain countries, you know it's never good, right? You know it's never good. So I cover the human trafficking scenario on the next channel. So I haven't done it in a while, but that could be one thing that's going on. Now, Oprah is linked to all these people. She's linked to a lot of people, and her name has been coming up a lot. Okay. Now I have to say, yeah, I like covering certain stuff, but the thing with this YouTube here, they deem everything conspiracy theory, and you have to be very careful with it. So when you're putting out the information, you have to know how to put the information out. Otherwise, you know, they say it's a conspiracy theory and you're speaking and it's not accurate, and then there'll be one Burke who will come out in the comment section and says, oh no, you got it wrong, and all this, even though it's good to be corrected, but it's the way people correct you. And so far I've had good people correct me on a few things and it's been fine, but there's been times before where people's corrected and the correction, the way they correct me, is not nice, and then I have to like block them and stuff. So that's what I say. If you have information, I have an email. All right. If you haven't linked me on IG or any of them places, well, something about IG basically, IG and email. You'll definitely catch me there, right? Then the information can be delivered accurately. And yes, Joe Biden is you know what, okay? for years he's incarcerated people, more or less, work farms, etc. When I watched Fifth Amendment, I said, wow. Okay, and the same thing goes on over here too. Okay, because they use them as workers as well, and all that stuff. You have an IG, okay, right? So yeah, link me on the IG, and so what happens is now, like, he was one of the biggest problems of, well, with ethnic minorities mostly. He was the biggest problem, Joe Biden, okay? And now he's all over the place. There's a lot going on. Like I said, there's a lot going on. The reason why I started doing Lucy Let's was because of the babies. And what I tend to do, I don't go directly to stories because you know, you look into certain things, you come across certain things, you start digging. When YouTube find that the how you're knowing too much, they try to stop the channel. Oh, it's this one. I can't spell today. So there is a lot of stuff that is happening. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's happening, and things is very much deep. It's deep because most of the stuff what people's talking about, like i.e. the prison ship. I remember hearing about the prison ship years ago. There's a guy that used to be called Ghettoology over here. He used to talk about the prison ship. He used to talk about the shortage of food. He used to talk about a whole heap of things. I think he even talked about the, you know, that lovely thing that when we was inside, and it happened. So I don't put past when people say certain things. I don't doubt it because most of it comes true, and you know. Sometimes even in movies, there's predictions of these stuff, like the AIs and stuff. If you got it, let me know so I can delete it. Right, you have to indicate to me that it's you as well. So they have a thing. They're like there's smart mirrors. There's a whole heap of things. Like I said, I can't even go into half of them right now. Okay. I used to cover them at first, but then YouTube gets funny. So obviously I had to, you know, obviously you got to switch up. YouTube gets funny. When you start talking about certain stuff, it gets funny, and they, you know, they can take the channel just for that. So when I saw the Hawaii thing, I saw it and I just follow it. You know, when you just watch it and you just, you know, follow it. And that's it. And even with this now, the shooting thing, it's another thing. But I really do my condolences to the family. And that's what I'm saying to people. Oh, let me delete it now. Oh, I can't delete it over here. That's what I'm saying to people, that they need to be safe out there. Hold on, let's turn this on. Oops, my daughter's moving around. So basically, they need to be safe out there and all that stuff. Like, so what you and Rico is talking about, I have heard stuff pertaining to that, to certain things you are saying. And I don't doubt it for a minute, because especially when we had to line up for food and certain stuff, that's when it gets real. People have to choose between eating and eating. And I did put up a bill to do with the veterans over here, where they have to choose. And some of the countries, ideally, is they're trying to move in on certain countries. Some countries are rejecting them. Niger is rejecting them. And there's a whole thing going on with the immigrants over here. There's a whole thing going on. There's a whole game based on the immigrants as well. I know it's a game. I've been told about it by my daughter. So I know what you're talking about, you and Rico and B. Freeman. And I don't know whether Godma said anything. I don't know whether she said anything, but there is quite a few things going on. And it's like being aware. So that's why when I follow channels like Fundi Fee, who's teaching people to grow, I have a short attention span sometimes, so I won't sit through a few things. But her growing, yeah, definitely. Oh, okay. So send through email. Oh, your name looks familiar. I don't know. Maybe you look familiar to me, because there's another person who was for the Queen Op as well. I also have Chrissy and Miss Wise, who's my base ones. Trips, Earl, Jaded. There is some, but I mean, you don't see them, but they're there. So too many pretty girls. Oh, is your bloke? Yeah, well, those ones are plastic. Those girls are plastic. I'm too old. Like, yeah, you know how it goes. But yeah, there's an email. So if you have information or corrections to what I'm saying, it's fine. I'm not going to say don't tell me the corrections, because even with the Velveeta, there's a mad stuff going on over there. I know people get tired of me doing carbonation stuff. Queen Africa recently as well. Oh, it's on private. Okay. Queen Africa recently. I normally cover child abuse on the other channel. So I knew something was going to come out of her. I knew she was going to say something. I looked at her face and I just knew it, but I didn't get that bit. Like I said, by the time I got to her, by the time I jumped off and came back, she already said what she said. So some of the subs don't like certain stuff, innit? So it's like, because I cover a lot of stuff, I'm an information junkie at heart. I wish I could go in deeper into certain stuff like I used to, but YouTube doesn't permit me to do it. I used to talk about spirituality. Yes, I did, because like I said, I'm a Reiki healer, I'm a Reiki master. I used to be a therapist, a massage therapist. So I used to do Reiki videos. They're still up. I used to talk about a lot of stuff. I talk about my background, who I am as a person. So I don't do panels as much as I used to, because I got put off doing it. So I don't really trust panels as such. I don't mind going to other people's panels, but I don't do panels. I keep saying I'm going to do a panel and I end up not doing it, because everybody has different characters and different personalities, and there's some louder personalities than others, and then you have to be very strict. On top of that, I have a young one that goes to school, so I can't be up late at night being there. Sometimes I'll be listening to Amas and I fall asleep, literally. So there is a lot of different videos that is up. Some people go backwards, some people don't. What I'm liking now, the Trinidadians are chatting, which is what I like. The Trinidadians are talking now. And Jamaicans particularly are talking, because I want to reach quite a few people. I don't want to be like in one space. It's not good. And on top of that, the States is interesting. I always cover stateside a lot, because stateside, it's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I did cover the toddlers with the adopted parents. Somebody did Germantia to do with the toddlers, and that was really interesting. And I put his video up, and no, I didn't put his video up. I put him in the community section, the community wall. And my community wall is pretty full, okay? I'm always seeing something, okay? So I guarantee if I haven't posted something, right, it's either something's happened on the other side or something. Now my breaks is the wall, okay? That's my break. Okay, if I said I'm gonna upload and I do it, and I go back over and I try to remember what I said, so I can keep my word, you know. So I'm not perfect. Okay, you'll get little gremlins, you'll get microphones playing up, Wi-Fi playing up. It happens, you know. 5G, you know how it goes, isn't it? So at the end of the day, it's nice to hear the subs in the chat, in the comment section. That's what I like. I love when I see everybody chattering and we chatting amongst ourselves, even in the chat now. When people chat amongst themselves, you learn a lot, even as the content creator, which everybody likes to say. Really, right, we're renting a space, put it that way. We're renting a space, okay? This small box here. So I like to use it a certain way. I'm not perfect like everybody. I have flaws. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm the best. No. Sometimes my videos turn out good. Sometimes they don't turn out good. Sometimes, like, I'm getting better at editing now a little bit. So I will try and put out some edited stuff if I can. If I can't, I'll just do, you know, quick videos and put up. But I will look at the smart city, and I'm going to look at them. I have to finish one thing at a time, innit? I have to do one thing at a time, because what happens is it will get overwhelming, and then it takes the enjoyment out of bringing the information on here. And what I do best is putting out, but I don't want to pretend like I know the world. I don't know everything, okay? So sometimes you can tell me and all that. It's fine. I'm not going to say, oh, whatever, knock you out. No. If I feel it's a bit too much and you're too much, then I'll probably say, you know, okay, that's enough now. But it might not go that way. So the best thing is when you communicate in the comment section, whether you use old sub, new sub, new sub, it don't matter, right? The more conversation, even though we don't know each other that well, we all come from different backgrounds, different understandings, right? Everybody more or less thinks kind of on a similar basis. And yeah, so I'm not going to go into speech mode, okay? Because this is not the reason why I put on the live. It's not to go into speech mode. It's just to show the information at hand. And I think Rico and Alex given a lot, and I think Freeman did. So yeah, happy the Jamaican Trinis are working. But they've been woke. You know, Jamaica as being woke is only because there's certain factions that are getting into Jamaica, particularly because I was following Chief Curry. I'm still following Chief Curry, and he is from the Maroons. And then L.A. Lewis popped up because L.A. Lewis was saying he was making identification cards, so you don't get certain stuff and you can move around and stuff like that. Now, Trinidad is the same. Trinidad is very cultural. We're cultural people. That's what it is. We're cultural people. We know where we are. We know where we're at. You can't move us from there. You can't move us from there. You know, they know who they are at the end of the day, right? The Caribbeans on the whole, and most probably, maybe the Americans is the same. They know that they know themselves because there's many fractions. We are one of the same, but we see each other differently. That is the problem I have, because at one point there was a big division going on and it was getting kind of ridiculous, and I had to jump away from that. So my understanding is that how people, like, once you know yourself, you know yourself, innit? Like they talk about Sankofa. When you Sankofa, when you go back, like the bird, you go back, you look into your roots. Sometimes your roots come knocking on your door. So it's that sort of thing. And right at present, there's a war going on, some kind of war going on, okay? So, and you're seeing it in front of your face. And even in big old London here, there's a war going on. There's a war going on. Okay, right today, everybody was okay because it's carnival. Right, it was Notting Hill Carnival today, so everybody's as one accord. But normally it's like some next thing. So, and I know, like I said, I was part of the conscious community before. Well, still kind of are, but at the same time, when you see certain events come up, you can't turn a blind eye to what's going on. Like when it involves babies and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Trinidad, mind you. So just that Jamaica, they come forward quicker. So Trinidad coming there now, because recently on the committee tab, a man got shot, and what made him keep himself is his daughter. His daughter kept him going. A Rasta man, a Rasta he's half Indian. And he was telling his story of what was keeping him going and stuff. And not a lot of people have that at the end of the day. Sometimes YouTube is people's go-to. You know, sometimes they have nobody. And they need somebody to tap into sometimes. Okay, so I'm not saying that, yeah, whatever. Now, people get it all wrong because they see me talking about a mummy and stuff like that. But, you know, when it comes to things to do with children, elderly, vulnerables, I definitely don't play with it. Even if I don't verbalize it on my video all the time, I don't play with that stuff because I have children. So when you see people like the Hawaiians going through what they're going through, the Hawaiians now, this come up in Jacksonville, it's like, it's crazy. Now the same thing with Jordan Needley, I would say. So what happened? I can't live, I can't walk, I can't do this, I can't do that. I always got to be looking over my shoulder. I always got to be alert. Now, this is why a lot of people have PTSD. I think, yeah. PTSD is the worst. When they go out, they have to be ready in case of anything. Now, one time they said they was practicing people. Now, what if a shooter comes into a school? This is what you do. This is what you do. Can you imagine? Your child's supposed to go to school to enjoy themselves, or college, university, whatever, and they have to learn that. So, to me, even though stuff like that is not happening over here, but it did happen over here at one time. So you can't put nothing past nobody at the end of the day. The only difference is that how, right, I don't think anybody can walk with weapons over here like that, though some of the children over here is walking with weapons. So, you know, but like I said, sometimes the UK reflect what's going on in the Americas. Just because it's not shown on the thing or certain things ain't said or whatever, it's the same thing. It's the same problem. We go through the same problem. You guys go through the same problem, but people don't get it. They think we're going through different stuff. Some people don't even leave their houses and venture outside past the postcode, the space where they're at. They stick in the postcode. They go up and down, and they don't move very far. And I've quite a few people do that. So that's why when I said be safe on the carnival, because last year the carnival, a man got unalived at the carnival. Can't remember the reason. I did a video on it. So that's why I said you have to be safe no matter where you at. You know, it's important. So, you know, I'm not going to stay on here and talk and waffle. But I will definitely look into those scenarios that is brought forward today. And just bring it back onto the channel. And yeah, how will the channel go? The channel's going how it wants to go. All right. So, you know, all I'm saying is try and watch the videos, the back videos, so that you can get understanding of everything. Because I did the SOS laws over here. Who's that? Oh, I did the SOS laws over here, and I did the other videos over here. So there's a variety of videos. So you just have to go back and see. There's Dal Chadri, who was the gangster gunman in Trinidad. And he ended up very badly. There's corruption in Trinidad. There's a whole heap of things going on in Trinidad, really. But to go into it, time will be just not for the time. And the video wasn't really meant to be about anything else. But what I was saying is, just tap in now and again and leave your comment and whatever. And if not, just go to the email and contact me. Don't over on it. Don't spam it. Because then I'll be like, okay, I have to take you out. Because I've got other things going on my email. So thank you, people, for coming through. I don't want to go into speech mode. So Alexander, because it's getting late over here. Rico, B. Freeman, and I think Godma. Where is she today? I see her just now. Good Mama. What's it say? Oops. Things gonna get interested in England and in Dutch England and in England meaning scary land. Yes, I know. I heard. Yes. Yes. With that, I know where you're going on that one. A lot of corruption in Aruba also. Yes, no spamming. Yes, exactly. It's annoying when they get spammed. Oh, geez, I can't stand that. Then you have to send them to the spam box and you miss everything. But anyways, thank you for coming through. B. Freeman and so Amar and Godmar and Rico and Alexander. I will say his name wrong. Alex. There you go. And Alex. So with that said, I'm going to pop off and I'll see you in the comment section Have a good day, a good night, good evening, whatever time it is, because it's very late over here. So just look out for my videos and yeah, just comment basically. That's all I ask. Just don't be rude. Just don't be disrespectful. But with that said, I will see you. Bye.